Dr. Manaíra Athayde was born and raised in Maceió, Brazil. She loves to travel and get to know new cultures and has a passion for photography. Being able to experience different cultures was crucial to her trajectory. After earning a PhD in Materialities of Literature, she had the opportunity to teach in Spain for several years. 5 years ago, she moved to California when she became a visiting scholar at Stanford University. During her time at Stanford, she worked on her PhD thesis, which was focused on the connection between literature and media studies. Her love for digital humanities and the world moving to an online platforms made her realize the necessity to put in dialogue literary issues and conversations about the digital world. When she became a lecturer at UCSB, where she is now located, Dr. Athayde kept working on this project. She believes that digital media can help us know about more realities and expose our own. Indeed, as Frida and Clarice use their voice, the digital world offers us the opportunity to amplify ours. According to Dr. Athayde, digital tools can promote diversity, and during her presentation, she hopes to help us understand how there is always more than one narrative. So if you give us an applause for Dr. Athayde.
Thank you for this amazing introduction. We had a great conversation on Monday, right? Yeah, thank you. So I'm very happy to be here today. Thank you for your presence. It's a pleasure to be back at BYU. Thank you so much. And, thank you for this warm, uh, this wonderful welcome. No, it's a pleasure. Ok, bom dia, não, boa tarde, no. As this presentation is part, of course, right? I'm trying to I'm trying to do a mix between a lecture and a presentation, okay? Um, Let me introduce our two authors today. No? Okay. Frida Kahlo was born and raised during the Mexican Revolution, the greatest economic and social upheaval in Latin America at the beginning of the last century. She was married to the famous muralist Diego Rivera, right? While Frida was alive, her work wasn't widely recognized. No? Diego Rivera was the famous painter of the couple. And Frida was the daughter of a mestizo mother born in Oaxaca, in Mexico, with indigenous and Spanish roots. And her father was a German immigrant. Okay? This is, a little story about Frida. And Clarice Lispector. Have you ever heard about Clarice Lispector? Yeah? Good. Clarice Lispector. Clarice Lispector was born into a Jewish family in Ukraine, but at just 2 months old, she moved with her family to Brazil due to the destruction caused by the First World War in her homeland, in Ukraine. She lived in my hometown in Brazil, Maceió, and in Recife, in the northeast of Brazil. And when Clarice was 15 years old, her family permanently moved to Rio de Janeiro. Clarice was married to a diplomat and lived in several countries, such as Italy, Switzerland, and here, the US. And I have a question for you. Why did Frida Kahlo and Clarice Lispector become two huge social media phenomena? After more or less 5 decades of their death. And look at these two stories. What is the common aspect between them? if you compare, no, Clarice's story and Frida's story, what is the most common element that we have here? Any guesses? Please.
They were both artists married to men who were perhaps more well known. She had a famous artist husband, and she had, I don't know, maybe a well known diplomat husband.
It's good. It's a good direction. But the multicultural roots, it's a good point here. No? The multicultural roots and personal stories connected to globalized narratives. No? Globalized narratives. Frida Kahlo, indigenous, German, Spanish, Clarice, from Ukraine, in Brazil, etc., Jewish family, they have these connections, these common elements. Okay, and my main question in this presentation is why we are here talking about these two authors, and the boom on social media after more or less 5 decades of their death, right? Frida Kahlo. And here, Frida Kahlo. If you are looking around, you may find something with the image of Frida. Bags, t-shirts, shoes, souvenirs, cell phone covers, etc., etc. Anyone here has an object with Frida Kahlo's image? Anyone, maybe? Oh, good. I'm sure, I think. Yeah, social networks, applications, games, YouTube videos, films. As we can see here, more than 6 million followers on this Facebook page, 1.217. No. Here, nearly 5 million posts on Instagram. YouTubers explain how to be Frida. Oh. And here, of course, products, selling us this big image of Frida, this Frida's image. Okay, and Clarice, this Facebook page together have over 1.6 million followers, near 500,000 posts on Instagram. It's a lot. We are talking about a Portuguese, a Brazilian author, right? Writing in Portuguese. So it's a big, big phenomena. Okay, and now my second question in this lecture, when I say digital world, what do you think? What comes to mind? Digital world. What is this digital world for you, please?
Just like social media, like Instagram, Twitter, like Facebook.
Good. Thank you. More. I cannot move because we have, yeah. Okay, more. Digital world, please.
Probably just like databases and like any information that we have, like Google.
Good. Thank you.
I think about how you can share your opinion without knowing the people in the discussion. You can also kind of hide.
Uh-huh.
Put your thoughts out there.
Thank you. Digital world. Please.
I think like going off of how our world is now digitally connected to each other.
Uh-huh.
How each country you can, just like you were saying, you can communicate with
Uh-huh.
other people in other countries digitally, and it's all connected.
Thank you. Great answers. Great tips. Okay. I'm sure you think watermelons. Yeah. Watermelons. Digital world, watermelons. I'm sure. Okay. Can you recognize this painting? No? Yeah, no. Okay. Viva la vida! Viva la vida! Watermelons by Frida Kahlo. No? Um, Viva la Vida Watermelons, finished by Frida Kahlo a week before she died. This is the last Frida Kahlo's painting, okay? In 1954. We can interpret this expression in two ways. Long live life, a celebration, Viva la Vida, as a celebration, or come on, live your life intensely, go ahead. We can see here different angles, different perspectives of the same object, a watermelon. For me, this painting works as a metaphor for our times, characterized by the digital paradigm. And here, I'd like to highlight important aspects of this digital world to understand these Frida Kahlo's and Clarice's stories, right? First, the digital world enhances the analysis of an object from different perspectives, from different angles. Enhances enhances diverse perspectives from different cultures, peoples, countries, contexts. Enhance the plurality of voices, the amplification of voices, right? Today, global audience are reproducing sophisticated visual voices. I mean you. You are reproducing, you are using these digital tools to produce our self-image. And for the first time in our history, the younger generations don't have to learn from the older generations to master the work tools. It's another important point. And for the first time in our history, work tools are also entertainment tools, right? Another important aspect, the end of an online world. Today, we are living in an online world. This barrier between online and offline, it's not more common in our days. It's an important aspect. And in this digital era, objects that used to circulate outside the information system now don't escape it. Okay? Don't escape it. We are all sucked into this digital system, whether we like it or not. This is an important aspect. And here, Instagramism. Lev Manovich understands Instagramism as the result of the image culture created from technological development. New cultural language in our global information society. We are creating new self-representations. We have a new we are aware about this new process when we use these digital tools, and we are creating new culture products, right? And digital tools have greatly increased the possibilities for our work to be edited, published, produced, shared, remixed, managed. We have never produced as many files, archives, as we do now. You are producing archives now. It's our main action. Every day we are producing archival files. Another point in this digital world, performance of the self and autobiographical dimension. It's very important point. It's very important point to understand Clarice Lispector and Frida Kahlo on social media. No? The performance of the self gains space with the encouragement of constant talk about yourself. No? Open your Facebook. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are, no? Talk about yourself. Talk about your life. No? Our constant self-editing, our constant self-editing facilitated and stimulated by the digital world. No? One more characteristic, this atmosphere of the self. It's not just our performance, our own performance on social media, etc., but all these performances together are creating this atmosphere of the self and this type of lifestyle. No, it's interesting to think how people build their self representations and how techniques, aesthetics, and subjectivities work together, right? Creating meanings, emotional effects, and strong bonds in a networked world. And using Lev Manovit's words, what is this lifestyle that we have now? Lifestyle is not about always doing things. It's about contemplation, meditation, being lazy, the luxury of doing absolutely nothing, nothing, while being in a perfect place, perfectly dressed, with a perfect drink, solo or with a perfect friend. This is our new Instagramized world. Uh, it's the unique feeling you get when you put on a special piece of clothing or when you look at a very particular landscape or cityscape, being rather than doing. Uh, And my last theoretical point um, to show you these new cultural products on social media. All this atmosphere of the self, um, in my argument, in my perspective, are creating a new romantic dimension or a new romantic diction like that we had during the 19th century. Okay, our times highlight certain features of a romantic diction. Frida's and Clarice's image is are often associated with the unique feeling, um, a moment of inspiration, the idealization of a context. We are here in this perfect place, no? Projected, these images are projected on the landscape, for example. The connection with nature and the emotion of an experienced moment. And experience is a key word, a key concept of this atmosphere of the self promoted by the digital world. No? Show your experience today. No? Post about our amazing experience now in this great presentation. Go ahead. No? It's we have just this input, no? All the time. And important point to explain this neo-romantic dimension, no? The exaltation of love, no? The love, the perfect moment in which uh, we can share our thoughts, you know, our lives, etc., etc. And here I have interesting question for you. Do you have any idea what is the most used hashtag on Instagram? It's a good point to support my argument. Hashtag. No? No, no? One word? One word, no? Huh? Ah, good. Oh, okay. Good, good, good. Love, no? Love by far, love is the most used hashtag throughout the history of Instagram. No, love. But we can see, no, hashtags like amazing, beautiful, family, fashion, friends, happy, inspiration, no? Style, sunset, travel, nature, no? And we can connect these words with a romantic vocabulary. Okay, I don't have time to explain it. It's so complex, but it's an interesting point. Okay, and here I'm going to show you, no, the connection between these theoretical bases and these cultural products involving the Frida's image and Clarice's image on social media. No? Frida Kahlo. It's important to say, of her 143 paintings, 55 are self-portraits. Self-portraits, no? I mean, 40% of her production. No? Self. I was talking about atmosphere of the self, no, performance of the self, and we have here, no, a great example. She began to paint these self-portraits after having suffered a serious accident that would change her life, no, after a bus that collided with an electric tram. It's an important point in her story, you know, the pain, the suffering after this terrible accident. All Frida Kahlo's work is permeated by an intense autobiographical pact. No? It's self-referential work, self-portraits, photos, diaries, correspondence, no? All these Frida Kahlo's universe involves these self-production. And here, no, photos of her Frida's photos always seem to be selfies. No, selfies. In recent decades, Frida has been called the queen of the self. No? Her photos don't show the suffering and pain displayed in the paintings. And here we have a great notion of performance. No? Performance, the great empathy with the camera lens, a provocative attitude. No? As we can see here. Frida designs the settings for the photos. Frida designs her image, like us now on social media, editing our own life, right? Our own image, our self-image. Clothes, accessories, makeup, hairstyles, the intimacy with animals. Oh. And it's important to say, as her father and grandfather were professional photographers. Okay? It's a good point. Professional photographers. And I mean, I'm talking about Frida in the first decades of the last century. Okay? So, and here, no, the memes. Many memes using all these images, these powerful images, and her story and her correspondence, her diaries, etc., etc. Never apologize for yourselves. And interesting, in many languages, okay? Spanish, Portuguese, English, no? This globalized narrative, no? globalized narrative, no? Pies para le... Bueno, okay. Pies para que los quiero, si tengo alas para volar. No? Frida Kahlo, ícone da cultura pop, né? The most influential women in the world. Mesmo sofrida, jamais me calo, né? Never apologize for your selfies, no? Selfies here, no? The other icon pop on the social media, Mona Lisa, this mix between Frida and Mona Lisa, no? And here, how about your mood today, no? Other important word, mood, no? Our mood, the connection between our internal, our feelings, our internal world, our feelings, and the outside. No, it's very interesting. No? Diego Rivera, you've probably never heard of him. No? Sou um amor de pessoa, mas não pisa no meu calo. Okay. Frida expressed my feelings. Frida and Diego Rivera had a very intense and complicated, tough relationship, as we know. So, you know, it's interesting, all these concrete elements that the way of these complex elements are using to produce these new cultural products. Okay, and Clarice Lispector, no? Photos, other important element to justify this boom involving her image, no? As in Frida Kahlo's case, Clarice's photos are selected, cropped, manipulated, usually black and white images. Clarice's face is highlighted, no? We have this close-up on her face, and it creates an emotional atmosphere, no? This emotional atmosphere, and look, we have memes in English, no? It's interesting, no? Okay, no? Sai já dessa citação que não te pertence. I'm talking about the apocryphal texts. Não tenho tempo para mais nada. O Facebook me consome muito. Né? Você apenas observando você usar citações incríveis com créditos falsos. Né? But here, porque despertei simultaneamente mulher e humana. Liberdade é pouco, o que eu desejo ainda não tem nome. It's maybe the most famous quote. No? Here, do you ever suddenly find it strange to be yourself, no? Etc., etc. Okay. And features of Clarice Lispector's work, little epiphanies. It's a key concept to understand her work, no? What is this epiphany, this epiphanic, this surprising word? An intuitive grasp of reality through a small, everyday occurrence or experience. It's like an insight, no? An insight, this experience. Oh, I saw a thing, I saw an object, I saw a situation, and, you know, I discovered a new thing. Right? This is a very important concept to understand her work, no? And remarks on the triviality of life, the mysteries of everyday life, no? The presence of this instant of enlightenment, no? Enlightenment, this confessional tone and lived experience. Fragmented images and texts. No? It's another point important here, because Clarice Lispector has a fragmented narrative. It's very common, this fragmented narrative. And explosion of images, no, metaphors, analogies, and lack of politically engaged, uncomfortable, or problematic content, right? We don't have many politically or uncomfortable contents when we analyze these memes. Okay, in short, Clarice Lispector became a brand. No, a brand. It doesn't matter that that the texts that circulate with her name are often apocryphal. I mean, if these texts with unknown authorship or doubtful origin. Okay? The important thing here is that these texts emulate, represent Clarice's writing style. Okay? It's not important the origin. If, okay, it's true, this quote is from the book, etc. No, it's not important. The most important is if you are emulating her style, right? If you are creating connections to her image, to her writing, to her books and narratives, okay? And of course, her image is detached from her work. No, we have many memes, of course, with quotes that are not from Clarice's books. No? Okay, but it's not its important point. No, the origin, the authentic, it's not important in this universe. No? And here, sorry, and thank you so much, Rex, for send me this great example. No? Here you can buy a piece of clothing, and you receive, a poem. Suppose that poem by Clarice in Spanish. Okay? Em Spanish, não sei amar por la mitad, no sé vivir de mentira, no sé volar con los pies en la tierra, no soy siempre yo misma, pero etc. etc. Of course, it's not a Clarice, it's not a quote from a Clarice book, right? But this is a great day for the Brazilian literature, right? Because we are exploring and we are amplifying, the Clarice, a voice, the Clarice's voice. No, it's a great day for the Brazilian literature. And here, one more question. I selected Clarice's main novels, and it's important to say short narratives. The most adapted works are short narratives, and here we have the main novels. If you know a little about her work, okay, which of these works is the most popular on social media? Any guesses? Oh. Perto do Coração Selvagem, A Maçã no Escuro, A Paixão Segundo GH, Uma Aprendizagem ao Livro dos Prazeres, Água Viva e A Hora da Estrela. Água Viva, more. Sorry? A Hora da Estrela. Good. More. A Hora da Estrela is the most famous book, but Água Viva, no, Água Viva. And why? No, Água Viva is the most adapted book, because it's a book just with fragments. Fragments about life, time, space, mood. No?
keep up with it, I divide thousands of time into as many times as the number of instants running by, fragmented as I am, and the moment so fragile. My only vow is to life born with time and growing along with it. Only in time itself is there room enough for me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, we have fragments here, you know, and an intense dialogue with all these characteristics that I showed you at the beginning of this presentation. The instant. Alegria, alegria é matéria de tempo e é por excelência o instante, né? This instant. This perfect moment, this perfect instant. Não quero ter a terrível limitação de quem vive apenas do que é passível de fazer sentido. Eu não, quero uma verdade inventada, não? So, this is a very interesting, because these characteristics fit, in this digital context. Quickly, mood, etc., etc. Okay, and I'm finished. And here it's interesting because the tag, Água Viva. Okay, and I'm finishing. Maybe I have more 3 minutes, I think, or more or less, yeah. Okay, good. Okay. And I'm going to show you now the second part of my argument. Frida Kahlo and Clarice Lispector's success in our digital world is not only guaranteed by the characteristics, inherent characteristics of their works. Okay? It's not enough, in my opinion, to justify this success. Okay? It's not enough. And I'm going to show you why. The digitation of their archives was essential for them to become these social phenomena. The digitation of their archives. And I'd like to finish my presentation with the story of a bathroom. Story of a bathroom. The Frida Kahlo's bathroom. Yeah. Here, Museu Frida Kahlo. All Frida's objects that we know today were locked in her bathroom at the Blue House, La Casa Azul, for over 50 years. 50 years. All things, dresses, letters, photos, okay, etc., diaries, 5 decades. After her death in 1954, Diego Rivera put all of Frida's things in the bathroom and asked his friend Dolores Olmedo Lola to open that bathroom just 15 years after his death. Frida died in 54 and Diego Rivera in 57. And okay, put all things there and say, Lola, 15 years after my death, you can open this bathroom. But La Casa Azul became the Frida Kahlo Museum, but Lola, maybe for fear of the ghosts that every archive keeps, or that bathroom, I don't know, Lola decided that no one would touch that material while she was alive. No, I cannot open that bathroom. Okay, and the doors of the archive, I mean the bathroom, were only opened in 2000 to 2004, between 2004 to 2004. They found almost all, I mean, the 2004, because 2002 we had an interesting event uh, about involving the Frida Kahlo's image. Do you remember 2002 or a cultural production? The movie Frida, released in 2002. It was important to create all necessary conditions to digitize these archives, no? To support this process, investments, etc., etc. I mean, this movie helped to open the doors to to um, to use, no, all these elements that we had in this bathroom. They found, no, in this bathroom, almost all the material we know today. Of course, I'm not talking about the paintings, no, but I'm talking about 22,000 documents, letters, notebooks, diaries, drafts, posters, 6,000 photos. Wow. 400 drawings, 300 personal objects, Tijuana dresses, corsets, perfumes, medicines, accessories, shoes, toys. Oh, Frida Kahlo's universe was discovered 2 decades ago. 2 decades ago, okay? And and my main argument in this story is the process of organizing, digitizing, and disseminating the Frida Kahlo archive coincides precisely with the advancement of the digital paradigm. Look, huh? And here 2002, 2002 we had the film Frida. No, it was a boom at the time. 2004, discover of the Frida Kahlo archive at the start of the documentation organization process. No? Here, 2007, great retrospective exhibition on, no, on the centennial of the birth of Frida Kahlo, including documents found in the archive. And we have an interesting timeline, no? The most events involving Frida and, no, these new digital products, no, two landmarks and these digital products created, no, at the same time. Okay. And no, this is a key aspect if you want to understand the Frida Kahlo phenomena. It's not possible to read the image of Frida without considering the profound transformations that involve the transition from an industrial society to a global information society. No? In the last decades, we have seen the improvement of internet connections and accessibility to the network, the popularization of electronic device. Our smartphones, do you remember? When the Apple released the first, when Apple released the first smartphone or iPhone? Yeah, oh, good. I mean, you know, it's an important landmark. No? The emergence of mobile devices, the creation and diffusion of social networks and sharing platforms. And to finish, here, one more concrete example to support my argument. No? Frida is one of the first artists to individually receive a large exhibition organized by the Google Arts of Culture in 2018. It's one of the largest projects for digitizing cultural archives in the world. You can explore correct letters, paintings, photos, all these material is available. So all this material is available. You can explore this massive elements. And to finish, Frida was the most Googled artist in the world, the second most Googled artist in the world during the pandemic. No, the second. When museums and art galleries were closed and online art activities were encouraged, Frida Kahlo is the second most popular artist in this ranking and the most researched artist on Google in the US. Oh, I can see here Brazil, Mexico, Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay, Spain during the pandemic. It's very, very um, interesting example, to show you the importance, um, to understand this Frida's phenomenon, just not a characteristic of her, just not enhanced by these characteristics of her work, but all these digital context, the importance of this digital context. Okay, and here, if you have interest, you can find great conversation, great debates in these texts. And thank you so much. I'm completely available to talk a little more about these interesting things. Thank you so much.
So
Thank you.
much.
Good
Uh,
to see you in person.
Thank you so much. So, as we continue to make an impact of social media and empowering women, Frida Kahlo and Clarice had artworks that are now being amplified. As Frida Kahlo and Clarice Lispector has impacted us 5 decades after their death, um, that being said, death does not mean that our impact here on Earth is over. As the digital world is increasing, we are producing archives. We are making an impact in the lives of so many. Thank you. And now we're going to have questions.
All right, so we have a few minutes for the Q&A. So we ask that anyone in person come up to this microphone and just say their name, their major, and their minor. And then for those on Zoom, just type your questions in the chat, and then we'll come up and ask them for you. So just to start off this discussion, I just want to ask if you've noticed with self-editing, if you've noticed any like negative side effects from that, or how it impacts the self.
Good. Thank you for amazing question. Of course, we have negative impacts, no, in these conversation. Um, I'm bringing to this conversation features of this digital world to show us why these works are so adapted to 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 digital world, right? Why is we have this great connection between Frida's, Clarice's works and digital world. No, this is my main point here. But we have a negative impact. For example, Clarice Lispector is not just more Clarice. No, Clarice is today we can consider Clarice is her books and the false quotes that we have in this ecosystem. So we need to deep our conversation, for example, about the fake news, in this case, fake texts, or the authorship, the importance of authorship another important conversation, no? Because we can, if you can expand the interest for these works, for these authors, um, using these digital words, using digital tools in this atmosphere, in this ecosystem. At the same time, we can, we cannot talk about specifically about these works, right? For example, Clarice is a great example. We don't have many memes don't show us the real, the real quotes or the real books, the real novels. Another important point: the fragmentation. Our capacity of attention. We we have difficulty to read in sequence. Reading our capacity to pay attention to details. It's so it's it's a complex conversation, but of course these negative effects, these negative impacts can produce other dimensions not so positive involving her image. But it's good. Thank you. More questions.
Okay. Valerie in the chat said, "Are Frida and Clarice unique? Or are there other Latin American women icons who are as popular on social media? Why or why not?"
Good. Yeah. Uh, the main point to answer this question maybe is the possibility we have in this digital world more possibilities to amplify silenced voices. No? It's this plurality of voices. And Frida is an icon, it's a symbol of these new visual identities, these new visual voices. I like this term, no, by Manovich, this visual voice. So in Latin America, as I told you, Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera was the famous painter when Frida was alive, right? Diego. Now, Clarice, Frida is a symbol of this new possibility, this new voice, this you can see the same story from other perspectives, from other stories. The digital world possibility it or enhance, uh, enhance more an inclusion of these discourses, these new discourses, and Frida and Clarice can appear with these images. They appear with these stronger image to tell us a story, a non-story from different spaces, from different perspectives, from other stories. Because you can tell your story using Frida Kahlo's story now, right? So they can be considered symbols of these, of these connections that we have more now with these other stories. More questions?
Okay, there's one more in the chat from Abigail Crum, and it says, "How did Frida and Clarice prepare part of the way for women to have a greater influence in politics? Do you think we still see the influence today? Is it seen in all the digital influence they have had?"
Yeah. Frida Kahlo, it's interesting to compare because Frida has more politically engaged contents, no, as we saw, no, when I showed the memes, no, the women's voices, no, the importance to occupy these places. No, I mean, this Frida's word is more desinstagramized, desinstagramized word if you compare with Clarice's word, no, in this digital, on social media. No, Clarice is more Instagramized, and is more Instagramized because we have the books, we have the, we have the texts, right? And Frida, we just have the image, image. It's more, we can more manipulated this image, and use um, with different ways, or, but Clarice's, if you compare, don't have this politically engaged content that we have with Frida's. And of course, during the 80s, it's not recent, okay? Frida was used during the 80s, 90s, was a symbol, of many political perspectives. It's not a recent way, but now we have this explosion of using her image, etc., etc. But yeah, maybe this is the main point. We just have here image, and you can use, you can put your perspective, cropping or manipulating these images. And Clarice, you have the text, so you can answer more questions, please.
Okay, if nobody else has any more questions, I think we'll wrap up the discussion. But I just want to say thank you for your presentation. We really enjoyed you coming here. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you.